Hello, podcast listeners. We know podcasts are a great way to catch up on a program that you may have missed on KSJE, and it's provided as a free service of this radio station. But, KSJE is now listener-supported, and so while you enjoy this podcast, we hope that you'll also take some time to join KSJE. Become a member today. It's quite easy to do. Just go to our website at ksje.com/support and pick the level of support that best matches your budget. Thanks again for listening. Here's your podcast. Joining me here in our visual radio studio to talk a bit about the tourism industry in Farmington and some of the things that are happening next week with Freedom Days is from the Farmington Convention and Visitors Bureau. Tonya Stinson is here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, it's
also,
fun.
Ingrid Gilbert is here as well. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thank you both for coming in to talk a bit about what you all do for the CVB and maybe to remind some of our listeners and viewers what the CVB does in the community. So it's great to have you both here. And I guess we have to start with Freedom Days because that is just looming.
Can you believe it is July in days?
Yeah,
July.
I know. Too fast. The summer's going too fast. So, but here we are.
Here we are, so good times.
It's happening. And so again, as usual, Freedom Day is a multi-day celebration in Farmington. Lots of events that are kind of coordinated through a committee that you guys kind of oversee.
Right, so a committee of wonderful volunteers that put in their time to organize events for everyone else to enjoy on the holiday, right? We all want things to happen and we want things to go to, but we love it when someone else does it for us.
Exactly.
So that's what this committee does, with lots of help from various departments at the city of Farmington and other people, and we are grateful. Police, fire, parks and rec, street traffic. It's amazing at what it takes to put on something like this.
Exactly. And so again, no shortage of events for Freedom Days.
You will not be bored. So don't go elsewhere. Stay here and bring your family and friends to Farmington for the 4th of July.
Exactly. That's true. Well, let's talk about what's kind of going on beginning on the 3rd of July, right?
So this year we kick off on the 3rd.
Right.
And of course, it's our fireworks display. It's Farmington's tradition to do it on the 3rd.
We do it on the 3rd. That's true.
Sullivan Hill, we tell people it is literally the perfect location. It's so centralized. You can see it from anywhere. People say, well, it's the best viewing spot. I don't know that there's a bad viewing spot.
No. That's true. There's a lot of places, but I know.
Perfect.
Yeah. Parking lots fill up. The college is one of them.
Yeah, college is a
It's
fantastic
popular.
place, and we work closely with college staff. We're really grateful to them.
Right.
And people say, well, how long? It's a 19-minute show. So
Okay.
it is a nice long show. It is paid by generous sponsors, private, locally owned businesses. Great display. All the people, the things that it takes to put on that show that night is way more complicated than anybody can imagine. But what's nice is all the players have been the same for many, many, many years. So we have it down.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
We have it down. That's great.
Excellent. Well, that's the 3rd, and with the fireworks, and then of course things get kicking on the 4th.
Right. So
Right.
then let's just go right into Party in the Park on the 4th.
Huge event.
Huge event
Lots
at
of other
Brookside
things
Park.
there,
We
right?
love it. We see families just come up and they set up at 11 a.m. and they just are there the entire day.
Right.
Such a beautiful location. A new thing this year we really want to point out is the Red Apple, the free shuttle.
Okay.
Because, parking is at a premium in that area. There's a lot going on. So
Sure.
Farmington Schools has been so amazing to us this year. They're going to let us use the corner parking lot where the staff usually parks, and Red Apple is going to help us out, and they're going to transport people all day long back and forth.
So back and forth from the high school
From the high
faculty
school.
parking lot is what you're talking
Right,
about, right
down
there
to
at
Brookside
Sunset
Park.
and 20th. So just across 20th. But
Yeah, just not too far
and-
away, but additional parking up there, and then just bring you down on the Red Apple.
Yeah.
There's a couple of different drop-off and pick-up points around the
Sure.
park. But a nice
Walking-
new convenience thing, or you can park up there and walk if you really wanted
you
to.
can, but just
You
remember you got to
could.
walk back up that hill.
Exactly. At
when
the end
you're
of the
done
day,
partying
you might,
in the park.
You might want to ride back up.
That's true.
But
well, that's
a
great
nice
thing.
addition.
Yeah, and it's free.
It's free.
Back and forth. So, and all kinds of things going on during Party in the Park. I'm looking at the schedule that we have on the screen this morning. Skateboard competition.
Yep.
Okay.
You do a great job at Sycamore Park. We're right there at the skateboard park.
I know you enter that every year, Tonya.
I do, yes,
I
that's
hope
my
you do
thing.
well this year, right?
I'm wanting to win this year.
I know. I'm right there with you, but we'll see. Water balloon dodgeball.
Yes.
Okay.
Foreigners Explorers helps us out with that.
Nice.
We're continuing with the pizza eating contest. Pizza 9's coming on board this year to do that. It's
Perfect.
fun to watch the hillside of people that come and watch that.
No kidding.
And the thing is you buy tickets for a chance to be in it, and money goes to a charity. So don't be scared to buy the ticket. Doesn't mean you have to be in it. You
Right.
support a local charity. It's a fun event.
There you go.
So come buy some tickets.
Exactly. Registration starts at 11 that day.
Right. So they'll sell tickets all the way up until it's
3.
time at 3.
Okay.
Live music, great vendors, fun activities. We have for, gosh, Ingrid, how many years? We've done the free visor, kids decorate a visor. So we'll be there doing that again.
Okay.
Like 5 years has it been that we've been doing that?
At least, probably, yeah.
And it's fun. So even, especially you're bringing your kids, they want you to buy something. So, you can stop by our booth and there's a free activity. Takes them a long time to put the visor together. They put the stickers on and they go home with a souvenir.
They look for it. So sometimes we're like, should we change that? And then we realize people are like, where's the visor? So I think they enjoy it.
Yeah. Don't change it.
Don't change it.
It's not broken. Don't fix it.
We like it.
That's true.
And I don't have that many skills, so Ingrid would have to take it over if it had any more level of skill required.
There you go. You're perfect the way it is. So that's Party in the Park. And again, another great event. It's been around for years and years and years because of these sponsors.
Freedom Days has been around for 33 years. And I would
Is it the 33rd year?
This is the 33rd year.
Wow. How about that, everybody?
So, yeah.
Okay.
Going strong.
Indeed. And then just down the street at 3 o'clock is another event at the First Presbyterian Church.
Yeah, the musical celebration. So you have the concert. I know kids, I believe, under 18 are free. There is a charge for adults.
Right.
But there's also ice cream social with it.
Yep.
So spend some time in the sun at Party in the Park, get out of the sun and go into the shade and listen to great music and have an ice cream.
Great patriotic music.
Music.
Some speeches and a nice, great,
wonderful.
entertaining concert. And tickets are $10, but they go to benefit PATH, I think, this year.
Right. Yep.
So that's the homeless shelter, everybody. And so that's another great thing. And then, of course, in the evening, you have a couple of events to choose from, right? Either outdoor summer theater or the parade.
You bet. So parade downtown. Farmington loves a good parade.
We do.
We don't lack for people coming to watch a parade, but you could still get an entry in. I know they would take you. They would love to have as many entries as possible.
And this is the Farmington Rotary Club who's
Farmington Rotary organizes it for us. We are very grateful to them.
Right.
It kicks off at 9 o'clock, so it is electric light. So please light yourself up so they can see you as you go down the road.
That's true. So that's happening. Or you could do outdoor summer theater.
Outdoor summer theater, yep.
Which
All shook up.
I just saw that last week, and it was great. So got a
We
special
haven't seen it
preview.
yet.
We haven't.
You guys
planned
need
this
to go.
being out on business travel and stuff. But
That's true.
it
But all
started
shook
while
up.
we were gone.
It is the music of Elvis Presley, and it's a great story, and it's certainly a great
It's fun
evening.
and different, right?
Very fun and different, yeah.
We
But-
had a lot of people excited when they saw it was based on Elvis songs.
Yeah. Some great. I saw a lot of toes tapping in the audience when I was there. So so that's great. But that's the 4th of July. But Freedom Days is not over.
Nope, we go into the weekend this year.
It continues, right?
It continues.
Exactly. And so as we move forward, we've had Friday and Saturday schedules. So on Friday, it's Gem and Mineral Show. That's another big
they
part
are
of Freedom
such a
Days.
great event and great people to organize that. And please get out and see those vendors. They sell out quickly. The vendors come back every year very easily. Our local Gem and Mineral Society puts that on. They do a fantastic job.
And
They
so
really do. Quality products. And it's fun and a great place to learn and connect with that club. And it's amazing to see the different specimens that they have, whether it's rock collection or jewelry making. No matter what you're looking for, you can find something there.
really unique things.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
and if you're buying a gift for somebody, thinking ahead to Christmas or holiday time, really unique
And
one-of-a-kind
incredibly knowledgeable
things.
Right.
people that are there. So
That's
they can
true.
really teach you a lot.
Yeah.
And I
About
know
what
Ingrid
you're-
knows more about this too, but about what they're making their product from and where it came from.
Where it came from. Some
Right.
really fascinating people. The vendors themselves always have interesting stories to tell about any little rock that you're going to pick up. So
That's true.
it's a must visit.
That's true. And it's out at McGee Park.
Yes.
Yes.
It has expanded. I know it used to be at the Civic Center for a
Yeah,
long
it's
time,
in
and then
the
they got
indoor
so big.
riding arena.
But now it's at McGee Park. Very good. And then, of course, on Fridays, July 5th, the TGIF Music and Lunch event happening outside the Civic Center.
So just everyone keep in mind, it's not at Orchard
That's right.
anymore. They've moved
New
it
location.
over to the beautiful new plaza outside the Civic Center. So
Right.
go check that out.
And there's lots of, I think, food choices
Food
there.
vendor.
If you don't want to bring your lunch, you
Right.
can buy your lunch, but you can certainly bring your lunch.
Yep.
And
Music is free, but if you wanted to, you can purchase lunch there.
great live music. And again, all shook up at the Outdoor Summer Theater that evening, Friday at 8 p.m.
Yep.
And then we move into Saturday.
So we talk about Farmington be a place where outdoor lovers and active families thrive. So we better offer some
I've heard
sporting
that.
events,
I've
right?
heard that.
Have you heard that a little bit?
Yes, I have.
So, of course, Freedom Days is going to offer something like that. So this year, we not only have the long-standing grass court co-ed volleyball tournament at
Right.
Brookside, there's a 3-on-3 soccer tournament.
Exactly. Okay.
So I know those events are still taking registrations. Probably you can get that in today.
Okay.
And participate in that.
There you go. And so the co-ed volleyball tournaments at Brookside Park, and then the
Right.
soccer tournaments over at the soccer complex.
Right. Yep.
In town.
And those registration or information to registers on our website as well.
Okay. Excellent. And then, of course, Outdoor Summer Theater again on Saturday, and then it continues till Sunday with the Gem and Mineral Show
Wrap
on
up
again,
with
too.
Gem and Mineral Show on Sunday.
Excellent. And again, lots of sponsors and lots of folks to thank for helping to make all this possible. You mentioned the volunteers, but you have a lot of businesses that pony up as well to help pay for some of this stuff.
Right. We are so grateful for our major sponsors. You can see them there, and even our Friends of Freedom Days. That's really important. Every level is important because this event has to pay for itself.
Right.
And these people make it happen. They're putting out their money for the rest of us to benefit from.
That's true.
So please make sure if you see a sponsor that you thank them for that, and keep that in mind as you go to all these events.
Exactly. And they're always, I know, thanked at all the events, too, because you couldn't do it without them.
Right.
So that's an important thing. But these things are really great times for the community to get together and celebrate what we love about living in this country. And that's what Freedom Days has been. And as you mentioned, if you've got family coming in from out of town, it's a great thing to bring them to and to share with out-of-town guests and maybe make plans to stay in town this year.
Yeah, when you get people out and about, show off your community, be proud of it.
That's true. And that leads me to my next line of questions to both of you about the work that you all do year-round about being proud of our community and jolting our journeys and using our hashtags and things like that, which is your full-time jobs. You have one of the best jobs in town. I know you do.
We really do. We're really lucky.
I hope everyone realizes that we feel very honored to do
I know
what
I
we
do, but I figure you guys do too. It's true. But you get to go around and talk about the positive things of Farmington and get folks to come visit and see what we all love about living here, right?
We do. And I think it's a great way. I know when I started working for the CVB, a great way to get to know your community is to look at it through the eyes of a visitor. When you have that opportunity to see, I think as locals, we kind of take some of those world-class recreational opportunities or attractions that we have, we take those things for granted. So that's what I love about our website. We love to encourage locals to use it also as a tool. Get out there and enjoy your community. You can always call us. We'll let you know that there's a lot going on. We can give you a long list of things to do.
There's never nothing to do in Farmington, as I've noticed from the calendar on your website. I mean, there's tons of things going on, right?
Yeah, there is, and it was funny. So we were in Denver last week for the outdoor show, and it got brought up by some people that were checking out our community, and they're like, "We look at your calendar of events, and there is so much always going on."
It's true.
We encourage people to, if your event or meeting is held in San Juan County, to please upload it to that calendar. It's a community calendar. It doesn't have to be a tourism-driven event to be on there. But the more things on there, that just helps create the picture for what Farmington has to offer and who we are.
Right. That's very true. And how big an industry is tourism? And we see a lot of attention being given to it. You've mentioned the outdoor show that you were at last week in Denver. We talked to Mayor Duckett from the floor of the Colorado Convention Center to talk a little bit about why the city was there, and not just the city, but the county and some other businesses and other entities who all went to talk about Farmington as a destination, whether it's for tourism or travel or a business opportunity, or there's all kinds of other
people
things.
would walk by and they're like, "What are you selling?" And we said, "We're selling our community. We're selling our hometown. We're open for business. Don't you want to open your business in Farmington? Let us talk you through that. We'll show you how we can make that possible for you."
Sure.
And it really opened up fun, interesting dialogue with a lot of people.
And which is great. And of course, your business is a little long term, right? I mean, it's hard to say, come visit and then tomorrow someone's going to come and visit from an encounter that they had. But this is all planting the seeds, as I think the mayor mentioned to me, about future visitation, future business opportunities and things like that. Exactly. But this is what you all do every season as well, right?
Yep,
and we are in the now beginning of the peak visiting season of the summertime, isn't it true?
Right.
So summer is great for us. Fall is really great for us too.
Okay.
We all know the weather is amazing here in the fall.
That's true. Right.
But you're right. We're always working in our office 6 months, 12 months in advance. So now that it's summer, we've done the summer stuff. We're moved
Summer's
on.
done, right?
Yeah, we're talking about next year, but it's an interesting way to constantly be thinking ahead. And if what we're doing now is working, do we need to change it up? How can we take what we're doing now and put a slight tweak to it, but keep, in your field too, you just have to keep pushing the same message for people to it start to resonate or people to remember it.
Sure.
So
well, it's all about marketing, right? And that repetition that we hear about advertising.
Right. And we see that it's connecting. We know that with this, the brand that the community selected through Jolt Your Journey, that Farmington is a place where outdoor lovers and active families thrive. We see people connect with that, and it's really exciting to see how our visitor base has changed, and the activities. And I think a big part of it, we've seen the length of stay grow in the past 3 years.
Right.
It continues, but especially this past year. We used to be that kind of drive-through stop. They'd stay a night on their way to somewhere else, and we're really seeing people do this as that base. Settle in here, explore what we have to do in Farmington, and the more we grow those opportunities for recreation, family-friendly activities, we'll keep them in our community longer, and we see it working.
And that's the key, right? Because then they're eating in the restaurants, they maybe are shopping, they're picking up their toothpaste at our stores or whatever they need.
Yeah, we've talked about hub and spoke before, and that's still great, and we still do that. Base yourself in Farmington, be the hub, and then spoke out. But the more we have to do in Farmington, the more they'll really just stay here, too.
True.
Right.
And that's good for us.
Right. Or after they've gone out and toured something, and then they'll come back and need something to do in the evening, and we have some of those events to fill that schedule as well.
It just makes their stay longer. They're like, 1 day wasn't enough, 2 days wasn't enough.
Right. And that's where I think the partnership with some of the city and county entities come into play, because we've seen the city take a stand of the new water park that's under construction, some of the improvements at Farmington Lake, and some of these things that locals get to enjoy, but also the visitors who come to town, right?
Right. It just helps deliver on that brand promise. This is what we have to offer, and these are the things. Many of them were already here, but how can we enhance them and make them better since they were already here for us?
Right.
The lake,
As
the
locals,
river,
we
the
knew,
trails,
and we knew about these. Like off-roading has been great, and locals have loved the trails that we have here for more than 40 years. These trails have been developed and loved by locals, and now we're doing better about telling our story and sharing these experiences with visitors. Because, as you said, in the end, when they come in, they bring those outside dollars in, and that's what our local economy needs.
Right. And helps to then spur other businesses as well, I suppose, right?
Like
Or-
these are
opportunities. Yeah, Four
just
Corners
opening.
Explorers is growing and doing great, and we love working with them.
Right.
And they love to share the story. You know, our office can put out all the messaging we want, but we need the people who live here to be sharing their story and telling what they love about Farmington too. Because we all know when we travel, don't you want to find the local and ask them what they like to do?
Sure.
That's authentic. That you believe that to be true. You want the real story. So if the people that are living here are doing that for us, it just makes our work stronger.
So we can all be ambassadors.
Every
if
single
you will,
person's
right?
an ambassador.
And creating those
Help your
visitor
community.
experiences, like Karen at Studio 116, and
Yes.
the fact that they're doing the live jazz jams on Wednesday nights.
That's right.
Those, as locals, we love that. We love those experiences. But when we can bring that in and share that with the visitors, again, that gives them incentive to stay. So even within our retail market, we know, living here in Farmington, that people come here throughout the Four Corners to shop. So if we can get just a small percentage of those people to spend 1 or 2 nights with us throughout the year, again, that's going to help our local economy. And events like that with Karen and Delbert Anderson and the San Juan Jazz Society, the more we grow those opportunities, the more that we do that, we know we can capture that overnight stay.
Very true. And so someone who works maybe in retail might think, well, I don't work in the tourism industry. I don't need to know what's going on in my community. But then someone's cashing out and they're like, hey, what is there to do? We're from out of town.
Right.
And the cashier's like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, we tell everybody we don't, even if you don't work, you live here, you work in tourism and hospitality, because you could run across someone on the street corner.
Sure.
And they're going to ask you a question, and the impression they have walking away from you makes or breaks the trip.
Right.
And do you know what there is to do in your community? Do you love it? Are you talking about it in a positive way? Are you helping encourage them to come back? That it all matters.
Those are important things.
Those are important
And
things.
it's key to what we do. We spend a lot of money in marketing Farmington and trying to get the visitors here. So we need to make sure that locals, when those visitors are here, they experience great customer service and that they're being told the things that there are to see and do here.
Sure.
Which is our program, our A2D customer service program has really helped us share that messaging and let locals know the wonderful things that
It's
there are
opened
to
their
see
eyes
here.
to how they view their community, how they see tourism, and understand how it works and what it means to them, even as just a resident.
Right.
Yeah.
And I would suppose even if someone said, if they didn't know specifically what's going on in town, but could say, well, go to the Farmington Convention and Visitors Bureau website. They have a great calendar of events. At least that's something.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right. It's better than saying, I don't know.
Exactly. It's great. It
Right.
helps share the information, get it out there, make sure you have accurate information.
Very good. That's true. I want to show the website a little bit to our viewers who are with us this morning on our Facebook page and YouTube channel, and it kind of shows a little bit about what we're talking about. But this is the Farmington Convention and Visitors Bureau website, everybody, which is farmingtonnm.org.
Right.
And that's where you can send people to see what's going on from your events calendar, and you can see it up there, and we'll scroll through it a little bit, but you've got it kind of set up into different sections, right, for people who may be not familiar with the community.
Yeah, so this is Ingrid's baby. I can't even take any credit for this. This is all her amazing work.
Right.
So she can tell
It's
you,
all of us.
she can tell you detail by detail how this operates right here.
So we know outdoors, right? We have a lot of outdoor things to do.
Right, and so we did. When you try to grow or develop a site like this, you really do have to think about that funnel in which people begin to look for information. So we've broken up our adventures and experiences into 3 categories: outdoor, cultural, and family. And so there's a lot of crossover with that. We know that even within our art activities, as an outdoor loving community, our theater is outside. A lot of our art experiences are outside. So you'll see some crossover in the listings throughout there, but we really try to kind of funnel people in through that.
Sure.
And then what we have featured on our homepage right now, this will change next week, but we're still featuring our top 5 jolts for 2019, which was a great way to share our unexpected surprises, some businesses that are doing some really unique things throughout 2019. And then we're featuring a landing page for a Southwestern Colorado campaign that we have.
Right, and that is the We See You Colorado headline that you see there. And so give me a little bit of insights on that. I thought it was really interesting when I clicked on it to say, we know that you come down here to shop or to eat or to visit.
Right. And we do. We know that they come down here for our big box shops, and we understand that, and we appreciate our neighbors, and we want them to get to know us a little bit better. We want them to see, again, we know that it is some of the big box stores or restaurants that bring them in, but when they come in through that, we want them to experience the rest of what Farmington has to offer. We started this in November of last year, and it's been really unique to see the exchange that we've had, especially on social media. It's opened up a unique dialogue with some people in Colorado or in Durango, Pagosa, people that they never even thought about it. The Shop Small movement is very important to them, but they never realized. They think about that in their own communities, but they don't think about that same thing when they come here. And so I know with some of our partners that we worked with in downtown, they had great sales this year in combination with the multiple campaigns that we're running this holiday season. It's been great dialogue.
Yeah, it's just been a fun conversation that we've had in our office for probably a couple of years. It's like everyone knows they come down here and shop, and it's like, what do we do with that? And so we thought we'd just be bold and we say it. We see you.
We
know you're here.
We know you're
but
here.
At the same time, we love it and appreciate it. So have you thought about staying and playing with us as well?
Right.
And see us, we are more than big box. We appreciate that. I mean, like Ingrid said, don't be upset if they come down here for that reason. That's the reason why they came down. But once they're here, how do you get them into your store? How do you get them to do more things?
Sure.
And that's what we're trying to work on.
And from what you said earlier, both of you, about maybe taking what we are familiar with for granted, and maybe, our Southern Colorado friends know that Farmington's a great place to shop, but they take for granted maybe the other amenities that we have here because they don't think about that first and foremost. And this is something to make them rethink that.
And we had some media down here a few years ago, and one was a person from the Pagosa area, and she said, "Oh my goodness, my readers actually would love everything you have to offer. I never thought about Farmington."
And she would
in
come
that
down
way.
monthly. She came in once a month to shop, and but through this, but we had them here 2 nights,
I think
two nights for a full fam, and she was blown away, and did a great feature. I will say, like 3-part feature through the Pagosa Post.
So, like we just said, we have to tell people who we are. Don't let them sit back and assume they know who you are. Let's tell them.
Right.
But if we're all sending out the same message, it just compounds and grows.
Very true. As you scroll down the website a little bit more, we see some of the signature events, of course, which Freedom Days we just talked about is one of them that is there. Tota Festival you see there too, and some of the other things as well. And then, of course, at the bottom, there's the Stay, Dine, and Shop parts too, Ingrid. And that's another design feature of the website.
It is, and that is key. We know that they'll come in for the attractions. That's how we get people in, but the stay, dine, and shop, that's where we're looking to really share and get people to extend their stay. So throughout the site, when you're on a listing for an attraction, you'll also see a listing for a local business, or this is where to dine and to shop, because we know that that's what people are looking for. When you come, you want to play, but you also need to have somewhere to stay and dine, and please do some shopping.
Right, exactly. And again, a lot of those things are already kind of built into our community. We've got hundreds of hotel rooms, if not thousands, right? And plenty of places to eat from whatever you want to eat and what your tastes are. And so it's all those things to kind of highlight what it is about Farmington as a whole.
It is, and it's a great way. We do have a membership, so we'll feature, we'll list a lot of businesses, and then it's a great opportunity for us to have feature listings for our members within there. And there's great visibility, and it's a great platform for us to connect visitors with our local businesses.
Very true. Very true. And before we go on, I do want to remind folks where your funding comes from, because some people might think you're an entity of the city, but that's not true.
We're not. We're a nonprofit, but we do have a contract with the city to do tourism marketing and promotion. So a majority of our funding is a portion of the lodger's tax collected from Farmington hotels. That's why we never shy away by the fact that we want people to come and stay in Farmington.
Right. But you do market the entire region.
We do, for
to
attractions
visitors.
And things to do. But at the end of the day, we're always going to say, please come stay the night in Farmington. That is where our funding comes from. It comes from our Farmington hotels. And that's not a tax they pay, so everyone understands. If you've ever stayed at a hotel, you've looked at your bill, there's a number of different charges. And there's always going to be something, they call it different things in different communities. Lodger's tax, bed tax, hospitality tax, whatever it might be. But by state statute, it says this is how it has to be spent.
And you get a portion of that.
We get a portion of that.
And so, and certainly tourism and visitor travel is one, but you also, if a business person stays in a hotel, you still benefit from that too.
You bet, yes. But that's the thing. We're seeing a shift in our community. We always had the true luxury of having a great corporate base in those hotel stays. And as we've seen a change in our economy, that corporate stay has drastically dropped. So it's really important that we do grow the tourism from the leisure traveler. And so we see an increase in that. Right now, it's not quite enough to offset the drop of the other, but it is growing.
Okay.
And it's very promising, and we will continue to work at that.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. It is. It's a major shift in how we've thought about hospitality within hotels. And so it's great to work with our partners that they report to us what they're seeing in the change in their customers. And again, that we continue. And we've just recently heard from our hotels, they're seeing more weekend stays than they ever have. So again, we're showing that leisure traveler, we're seeing a greater number of those types of overnight stays.
And another part of the work that you all do is film liaison, correct? And Tonya, I know you work with the Mexico Film Office, and so we saw a couple of, I can't imagine any bigger names than what we saw earlier this year with the folks that were here for Jumanji, and Tom Hanks was in the state for a while filming his movie, and I know it's all very hush-hush when they're here.
It is.
And then I see all the posts on Facebook like, oh, you stayed at that hotel, and what was going on?
Right. So, I'm in a unique position. They could be like sitting in front of me, and I could deny it's happening with the confidentiality agreement I signed.
Yeah, we're such good
So
friends.
I can't even acknowledge it until the state film office announces it, which is always after it's wrapped, and they get a hard time too from people, but they're in the same position as me.
Sure.
You talk out of turn, you're going to run something off. So I just sit back and I don't know what's going on. And we've had other things like this in the past. It's just this one in particular got a little more out. I think things in the past they've been able to keep under wraps a little bit different.
Well, when they're shooting pool at the downtown or looking out at a club,
everyone's different in what they want to do, and that's great. And I know how exciting that is for the community, and I appreciate it. I think for the most part, Farmington handled themselves very well. Just always keep mindful of
their
space,
people,
I guess, and their people. So because we want to be the community that handles them and welcomes them in the appropriate way so that those things do come back.
Sure. But that's a big influx too, isn't it, to the economy when we talk about that? And seeing an iconic image like Shiprock in a major motion picture, don't you think that's going to bring some more interest perhaps?
This goes back to even when The Lone Ranger came out, because that was the feature there. In fact, Disney was really fun. They took out Cinderella's castle and put Shiprock in their icon.
That doesn't happen very often.
So, no, that was really fun to see back then. And it is. I mean, when they keep seeing those images, they want to go see that. And right now, that is When we do have film projects, it's for our outdoor landscapes. That's what's bringing them there, because it's expensive to bring a production, and they're going to have a very unique, compelling reason to uproot from a major city and film a portion, or maybe if you're lucky, all someplace else. And right now it's our outdoor landscapes. But you're right, they'll stay in Farmington hotels, and we are getting that business from hotel stays and restaurant stays and some other stuff.
Right, which is very exciting.
Yeah, it is.
And so I want to work on maybe doing a camel rental business out by
There you
Shiprock.
go. There you go.
I don't know
Snake
if that'll
wranglers.
work.
Yeah, it's
there is
really interesting when you're a liaison. The request you get from production is wide variety of
I bet.
very unique things.
It's everything and anything is possible,
Yes,
right? When you're talking
yes.
about film and fantasy and Hollywood and what have you.
Oh,
So-
I mean, when the Reach was here, I got, it was 24/7, but literally they wanted a Wall Street Journal or New York Times. I can't remember which newspaper it was. One that we don't have
daily,
in
that
town
day's
daily,
issue.
and what there was that morning had been sold out by 6:30 in the morning,
Oh,
and
dear.
I had to find it. It's a long, funny story, but I eventually found one, and when I delivered it, they said, "That's great. Do you have two?" And I was like, "No, I
If
do
you only
not."
knew.
If you only knew what it took to get this one, but we got it for you.
That's
so
right.
here it is.
Can you share?
Yes.
Right? Something. Exactly.
Exactly.
But with the new, I think, interest in film, and the state certainly has renewed some incentives and maybe beefed them up a little bit, and there seems to be a little bit more for incentives outside the Rio Grande
Right.
corridor. This puts Farmington perhaps with this soundstage idea with the county, hopefully on somebody's list, I guess, as this moves
like
forward.
what the state film office just says is with the additional 5% for rural areas, it'll definitely get more looks. Mm-hmm. We'll see. Who knows what will happen with it,
Right.
but they'll at least take a look, because it's worth looking if there's additional money savings there, right? So maybe they'll take a look at something they didn't think
Sure.
of before.
Exactly.
And we work really closely with the state film office. I have a great relationship with that staff. I really think highly of them. I know the state contract locations manager, Don Gray. He knows San Juan County very, very well. He's so good to us. And we communicate all the time about potential projects. I always tease people. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's coming, but that's because Don helped us get it here. He's a promoter of us. He knows the unique landscapes, whether it's anything out at the San Juan River or in the Shiprock area or the Bistai. He's hiked every bit of it and photographed all of it.
That's terrific. Well, again, it's a great another great opportunity as we talk about diversifying the economy and bringing in more visitors.
Mm-hmm.
And again, if folks sees a location in a movie or a
Right.
TV show or a commercial,
Right.
and they want to come check it out,
Exactly.
that's
Perfect.
what we're talking about. Correct?
It's a whole different type of earned media.
Right.
Right.
That's very true. We just have a couple of minutes remaining this morning, but Ingrid, I want to ask you a little bit about your work on social media, because I don't know, I'm never on Facebook at all. Never.
I know, right?
Never
None of us
at all.
are,
No.
especially now with the recent changes.
Right.
Oh, right.
But
so we
you do a lot of work on Instagram and Facebook and the social media side, right?
Right. So our Facebook page for visitor purposes is the Visit Farmington Facebook page, and then we're also on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter through Jolt Your Journey.
Okay.
And so that's more of a local voice and a way that we connect with people through this branding initiative that we have going on. And it's open for information. I'm always looking for content. I'm always looking for stories to share. And that's where the use of the hashtags come in. That's great. Or email me, call me, let me know that you've got something going on. We love to feature opportunities to live, work, play, or stay Farmington.
And if I use those hashtags, that gets your attention, does it
Yes.
not?
Yes, it definitely does. And so we'll go through and we'll look through those. And it's a great way. And I would encourage anybody to search those hashtags, even if you just Google it, hashtag Jolt Your Journey, and begin to see the imagery that is built up over the past how many years have we been at
4
this?
years, a while.
3 or 4
Yeah,
years.
a while.
right. There's a lot of them now.
There's a lot,
Definitely.
and it's really fun to see that. And then you can see who's using it and what they're doing, and
Sure.
it's fun.
That's
And
great.
showcases our community. So that's a great way to engage with us and see some of our messaging and what we're doing through visitors. And then again, Jolt Your Journey on the local side. And we do have an action team meeting this Friday.
Later on today.
Yeah.
Or-
No, actually, you've already missed it for June, but we
Okay.
will have.
Oh, that's right.
We plan. Everyone always says, "When is the next meeting?" Well, the people that show up to the meeting, they
plan
get
the
to
next
decide
one?
next month.
Aha.
So come. You have a lot of power when you come to the meeting.
Okay.
So
But they're on Fridays usually.
So, and I don't know, July's pretty crazy, so we'll see what happens there. But they happen once a month,
Okay.
and they're great. They're open to anybody, and I can tell you, it's worth your time to come. And I think everyone walks out of that meeting feeling uplifted and their journeys jolted just by at that meeting.
There you go.
Because they hear of all the exciting, positive things happening.
Sure.
And it's a great way to understand and get your head around Jolt Your Journey. We see that a lot. People, what is Jolt Your Journey? What does that mean? I see the signs, I hear the messaging, but I just don't get it. I don't understand. Those meetings are the perfect way to get in and get connected with what's happening and to learn and to discover why this messaging has connected and why so many people are using it. And again, it's rolled out there. Our community has embraced it.
Right. But it seems like a lot of folks have also started to understand the terminology.
And it's fun to see that finally.
From when it was launched, never looked at you, Tonya.
And we told them, right?
What?
I told you. Scott, I say, trust me. This will happen over time.
That's why I love having you back, so you can say, I told you so 5 years ago.
But and just like
time.
recently, so we put the entry monuments up, and then we started talking about the attractional and directional signage. And so we seem to be partnered with the city to do those signs. I want to give a great shout out to Isaac Blue Highs at Traffic Engineering. He took the brand, he incorporated them with the rules that you have to follow for highway signs, and it's helped reinforce the brand messaging. When you see Jolt Your Journey at the top and then you see icons of what there is to do in the area in which you're in, it clicks. And we have heard nothing but ongoing positive comments since those signs went up.
That's great. And again,
fun.
This is, as you're driving around, everybody, I'm sure you've seen them, but these different directional signs pointing the way to the athletic fields, to the river, to the glade, to the amphitheater, to the civic center, the museum, all these different things that have now directional signs. So again, think if you're a tourist coming to town and you're coming in one of the major roads, but you don't know how to get to maybe Lions Wilderness Park, you can now follow the signs.
Right.
And it's also great top of mind for our locals because they're seeing it every day, and it's reminding them, oh, I do live in a place that offers all of that.
Right. That's very true. So very exciting. And again, it makes us look like a bigger community that maybe we have gone to visit and see some of these same exact things. So it's always great to see. So wonderful. Thank you both for coming in this morning and for all the work that you do to bring more people to enjoy our community.
Thanks for the opportunity to talk about it.
It's always a great topic. So never a problem. Come back anytime.
Thank you, Scott.
Have a great summer.
You too. See you around a little bit.
Yes, you will. That's true. Tonya Stinson and Ingrid Gilbert from the Farmington Convention and Visitors Bureau, my guests here on KSJE. And I'll be back with more in just a moment, everybody. Did you enjoy that podcast? We hope that you did. And if you did, share it with your friends. And if you really want to keep podcasts like this coming, please support KSJE. You can do it easily online at ksje.com.